Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and again, back to the SITREP for what happened over the past 24 hours for the day of 1087 to for the 14th of February, or known as the Situation Report or SITREP. So, and for the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine, depending on which propaganda you prefer to inhale, and yeah. So anyway, it's just a war, no, it's just a war. So let's start off with the Kursk front first. Over at the Kursk front, we have the Russians. I think generally it feels like the things are going back to the same old of the Russians just doing their general counter-offensive. Over on the western flank, we have fighting reported over at Sverdlovsk, where the Russian forces have managed to capture more grounds in the south, and then they are pushing out. There's fighting reported at Lebedevka, and there's fighting reported at Nikolsky, which is part of the northern flank already. So largely that's about it. Nothing particularly special about this. What we do have a bit more interesting is the Ryba, the pro-Russian source, mentioning about the capture of Mykolaivo Darino. So we have suspected that it is captured, but the thing is, mapping wise, is not. So yeah, so they claimed it. So yeah, it's a claim. So over in the northern flank, we have of course Nikolsky as mentioned. We have fighting reported at Malaya Loknia. And then Kossisa returns to the scene, being reported again after a 1-day break. But that's all. Seems like that everything went to a more stalemate-ish situation. So no real offensive operations right now. Over in the Sudja region, we have fighting reported at Komarkov, and then shelling at Sudja, Goncharovka, Zalzaleshenka, Gogolevka, and Oleshnya. So that's about it. I think the main push mainly is still in the south. In the southern flank, we have fighting reported at Krylovka and Goevo. So, but that's about it. There's nothing really much else from this sector. We move on away to the Kharkiv front. At the Kharkiv front, we have only fighting reported at Klipoke, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So that's about it. Not sure what exactly happening around here. We haven't heard of Klipoke for a long time, since last year, 22nd of December. So moving on away from the Kharkiv front, we move into the Voreshna front. Interestingly, no reports over the past 24 hours regarding the Voreshna front. Yeah, so let's wait and see. Over in the Kupiansk front, we have fighting reported at Khrushchevka. This is mentioned by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Some fighting reported in this region, but that's about it. Nothing more. And over in the Borova front, we have fighting reported at Zarizove, Bohoslavka, Zelenehai, as well as Novoserhievka, or maybe it come from this direction, not sure. So the information coming from the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, there is no Russian Defense Ministry report for the Ukraine war itself, because they do a weekly summary for Fridays. So this all gonna be Ukrainian. Maybe that contributes to lesser reporting. Maybe that's why there's no Voreshna. Moving on to the northern flank of the Liman front, we have fighting reported at Rakivka and Novyi. So as usual, all these are all Ukrainian Defense Ministry reports. There is no Russian Defense Ministry reports. And over in the Liman front itself, there is fighting reported at Kolozyazi and Yampolivka. At Yampolivka, we have some frontline changes, where the Russian forces have going further south towards Merne, which threatens to cut off the causeway. Some of these I may have already reported yesterday. I left it in the mapping because I want to do frontline changes report, but there's really not much frontline changes. So we just have to yeah. I will repeat some of this because yeah, I can't grade them out later. I get confused. So over at the Sivas front, we have mentioning of Bilohorevka, Krakhovka, and Verkhamokanyamsky by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Is it like this? Maybe, or it could be like this. Like it could be like the attacking, coming from the southeast. That is also is a possibility. So yeah, everything seems a lot more subdued. It's very nothing much to talk about. There's fighting report at Chasifia. What happened to? Oh yeah, Chasifia. That's all. Reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Over in the Pokrovsk Front, we have fighting reported in the usual places: Krimsky, Pokrovsk, as well as Kremenivka, reported by the Ukrainians. And that's all. Moving into the northern flank of the Pokrovsk Front, we have geolocation of Russian forces expanding the massive incursion, the bulge that they have created in the northwest of Vozdovizhenka. And this is significant as they are now flanking south of Melanivka. The Russian Defense Ministry in their 2 days SITREP, which is not on this mapping, only with this capture report, they have announced the capture of Berezivka. Previously, yesterday they announced the capture of Vidane Druhi. Today they mentioned the capture of Berezivka. So this is actually pretty significant, which means that the Russians have expanded control, moving up north. Let me use another color. Moving up north and continuing to cut off the highway and creating a huge chunk and probably going for Novopetrovka and or maybe go into the rear position of Tarasievka, which is where the main Ukrainian defense line currently is, along with Zelene Pole. So there is fighting reported at Zelene Pole, which is noted, and Yelizaveta and Novotoresk. For Novotoresk, the Ukrainian mapping, Ukrainian reports wrote it as Novotroysk. There is no Novotroysk along any of the front line, so I assume it's going to be Novotoresk. So this is just a disclaimer. So that is the current situation over in the northern flank of the Pokrovsk Front. Very, very interesting developments right now. So let's see how this continue to play out. Yeah, it's not looking good. Moving up north in this sector, yeah, I don't think they will head all the way down the road towards Konstantinivka. Unless they want to collapse this entire front line, then yeah, then the next target will be this. Will be this highway exchange just outside of Konstantinivka. Then the entire region here will just collapse. Otherwise, they could potentially go up north towards Druzhevka and cut off the other main roads along towards Konstantinivka and Druzhevka. So Konstantinivka now is only fed by this road right now, and of course the roads coming from Druzhevka and Slovianka, which is this one. So Kramatorsk, Slovianka, Druzhevka, Konstantinivka. This one major road leading all the way down. So this is the other road. So this is why this push in the long run probably is aiming to cut off the road, take the highway exchange, collapse the other front line in the south. This is all plausible. I'm not saying that they are 100% doing it. I'm just saying that from this direction, what is the likely objective. So over in the Minokrat sector, we have fighting reported at Promin, Lysivka. My arrows are starting to fail. Okay, again, Promin, Lysivka, and Novopalevka. So the fact that they are attacking Novopalevka is a bit weird because we have this incursion claimed by the Ukrainian mapping, but somehow the Russians are still able to attack towards Novopalevka, and importantly, this is by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So probably the incursion into the eastern part of the Dashensky may actually not be valid. Maybe. So over in the Pokrovsk sector, because the Russian Defense Ministry didn't report, there's hardly any information except for the fighting at Uspenivka. As usual, Ukrainian Defense Ministry is the one talking about it. So over in the southern flank of the Pokrovsk Front, Bodanivka is the only town mentioned to be attacked. So that's all from the Pokrovsk Front. Over in the Andriivka Front, Andriivka surprisingly was not mentioned by the Ukrainians. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry only mentioned Shevchenko, Dashny. Yet Zelenivka is mentioned by the Ukrainian mapping deep state UA because of the frontline change around here, and there is fighting reported at Constantinople and Roslev. geolocation of Ukrainian getting hit by FPV drone was noted. So that's mainly it. The frontline changes around here is by Deep State UA, where the Russian forces expanding the control along the tree lines around here, in the other side of the river, the Sukiali River from Zelenivka. So the squeeze continue as the Russians slowly make their way towards Ulakli. And this is the fastest way. If the Russians just hit it on this way, they will just collapse the entire region here. So let's see how this play out. Over in the Velika Novosilka sector, we have fighting reported only at Bulatske, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. The main actions is over here in the Novyi Komar region. Geolocation of FPV drone strike, and this is by the attack. This geolocation, so this is wrong color, this should be blue. And this is a Russian attack being geolocated. They are located here in the north of Novyi Komar, signaling that the Russians have now starting to do offensive operation northward from Novyi Komar, as they're probably going to head towards this line here, along this stream here in the east of Mokriali River. That's probably it. There's some kind of a small stream, I think, or road, yeah, something like this. So let's see how this continue to play out. Yeah, I mean, the first line of defense for the Ukrainians is here. This and the first heavy line, no, Zelensky line or Sersky line. I do not know who actually planned this, but yeah, maybe it is Sersky line. No, let's call it the Sersky line. So yeah, so that's what the Russians are trying to break through. If they break it, yeah, then it's probably going to be quite demoralizing. Zaporizhia front is quiet, and then we move on to the Kherson front, which is also quiet because no Russian Defense Ministry report, so no shelling report there. So yeah, just a quick situation report for the past 24 hours. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the, oh yeah, check out the videos. So this is very significant, this relating to the geopolitics around the Ukraine war. So check it out. I will do more of this, and there's a new system. It's a point system to let us have a feel of actually what's the direction of the geopolitics is heading. So you have some kind of a sensing what the hell is happening, rather than like a lot of random information, and it's very hard to digest. I think the point system actually helps. So check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next update.